Testing, testing. Dwayne Cunningham here. Infidel 1258.
Testing. Luke,
I got you
1228.
a
Or no, 1258.
little high. Can you give me one more
I gotta
time?
get a cool nickname like yours, you know? Where, or maybe that's part of the question is where's your nickname from?
Yeah, man.
Maybe save that for the video.
Top secret, but I guess I could share
Is
it.
it top secret?
No,
You won't share that, huh?
no, it's fine. Cool, man.
Do you want llama or do you want Yoden? Which is your preference?
Yeah, no preference. They're both awesome.
Yeah. How many do you have of them? Just one each or what?
I don't have any of the. I had several. I want to say I had 3 Yodens, maybe
Ooh.
5, and I want to say I think I had 3 llamas, but I sold them all for. I sold all my llamas for $7 each, and
What?
yeah, and I sold all my Yodens for $20 each.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember thinking, "Oh my goodness, these Yodens are $20. That's crazy."
I feel like
That's
that's a video right there. I feel like that's Dwayne Cunningham's most regretted decision video. I mean, oh,
I
that,
also I also sold a Ruler of the Seas. You know that card?
yeah, yeah.
A gold Ruler of the Seas for $60.
Oof.
The
That
gold,
is painful, but I'm sure you've made other lots of great decisions.
yeah.
So
And
they even out, right?
you know what? Yeah, and that Ruler of the Seas is $1,500 on a. There's a bid for the $1,500 right now for that Ruler of the Seas. But
Gosh.
um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I've like I reinvest. Like that's the thing I say to people like on this game too. Like they're like, I don't want to sell it. It's too good. Like they don't want to sell Mylor for $50. And it's like, okay. And I heard you actually talk about this one time. You weren't talking about Mylor. You made that one video you felt was you talked about how it was kind of clickbaity, and people gave you
Yeah,
a hard time like for selling cards. I think.
on my cards. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people agreed, but a lot of people were like, "What? I will
yeah.
never sell my cards."
But the idea is that you're not just like selling them for no reason. You're going to sell that and then put it into another asset that is going to potentially grow just as fast or faster. And that's what I've always done with my sales.
Yeah. I like to make constant fun of people for Myler and chicken
Mm.
because they always talk to me about it. I'm like, it's okay, guys. I sold it. It's fine. I'm okay with that.
Luke, go ahead.
All right. My video voice on, you know? All right. Welcome everybody. We got a special treat today here in this video. We are doing a combined Splinterland YouTuber video. I've never done this before, and we got Dwayne here, which I don't think you've ever done this before either, have you?
I have not, and I'm excited to be here. I love your channel, pal, and I'm really pumped to be talking with you today.
Yeah, I'm excited as well, and I think we're both going to post these videos to our own channels and maybe do slightly different edits, but they'll probably be roughly the same content. And I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you guys do enjoy this, let us know so that we can keep doing this. And if this is a total fail and flop, we'll just never do it again, right? But yeah, I'm super excited. Dwayne, for those that you don't know, he's got, I think, the second biggest YouTube on Splinterlands. Is that correct? I think
Maybe
Bulldog.
I know Bulldog has way more, and I don't know. Does Clove have more? I'm not sure, really, honestly.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you the silver medal. I don't know.
I'll take
Someone
it.
go track the stats,
I'll
but
take it.
I'm gonna give you the silver medal, and it's cool for me to be able to do this video with you because, as I was saying a little bit earlier to you, that I got into Splinterlands just a couple months ago, and I watched Bulldog, of course, because he's the biggest, and then the second channel I found was your channel. So you and Bulldog helped me to get where I was. Even before I was making content, you guys are what hooked me into the game a little bit here and there and helped me to start building up some cards and assets. And, your famous, infamous line, time and attention, of course, that stuck in my head. When did you start saying that, by the way? Do you know?
That's been something that that's like that kind of goes back to like why I play this game in the first place. And like 3 years ago, I was into blockchain. I was like, I guess 4 years ago, I was like before the last bull run, wherever that was, I was getting into Bitcoin at around 3,000 US dollars, and that's before it ran up to 20. And that's when I bought it in at 3, and I took all my life savings and I put it in crypto. Um, and it wasn't a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not some millionaire now, but it was, I took all the savings I had accumulated. And you and I were speaking before the video started. Like I had some humble beginnings, and so my starting point was pretty humble too. But I took that initial egg and I put it into Bitcoin, and then quickly some altcoins, including Steam. And Steam was, I don't know if anybody even really knows what Steam is, but it's a blockchain that is one of the fastest transactions per second. And originally it offered some blogging websites that were really cool, like Steemit and PeakD and stuff ran on there. Um, and and so I was doing that. It's like you got staking rewards essentially by posting content, just like you do on Splinter Talk today, where you go and post a blog or a vlog about your favorite interest, which might be Splinterlands. You go in there and you share it, and people can upvote you, and the system will understand those upvotes as indication that that is valuable. And so in that moment, it's like a light went on where it's like, oh, like the time I am offering is worth something. And then at the same time, you know what I mean? Because you're writing a blog and then somebody gives an upvote, and it's generating money out of thin air through the blockchain, as a reward for your time and attention to that blog site. And then I started thinking about how that works elsewhere, like Facebook and Google and Instagram. They all monetize you, and so it's like, oh, like my time on this site is worth something. They know that, and that's why they sell me and they sell our content to advertisers. And that led into, I discovered Brave browser and somewhere along the lines, Steam monsters, and that was kind of toward the end of the bull cycle. But I saw my fortune deleted by 95% losses as that market came crashing down. But then I also saw this interesting opportunity in this video game that would reward me every single day, a little bit at a time, with these assets that could theoretically really wildly appreciate. Because at the time there's like 1,000 players, and I just knew it was fun. I enjoyed it, and more people would one day come. And so how it started.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. Such a cool story. And to get into crypto, you said it must have been like 2017 then, right?
I guess,
Or
yeah,
2018?
it was September of whatever, right before Bitcoin went to 20K.
Yeah. That's funny because my story getting into crypto is much does not have that long of a history. I mean, my dad is the one that got me into it, talking to me about it back in March of this year. And he's explaining this to me and I'm like, Bitcoin, whatever, that's a scam, Like what are you doing? Stop being crazy. And as he's explaining this technology and the different projects and things that are going out, that's really what piqued my interest. And for me to get into it, I didn't have a ton of things to invest with, right? Kind of as you're saying, it's like, well, I got some savings, but I don't necessarily want to just dump that all into crypto personally. And so what I went out and did was just started driving for DoorDash as a secondary job.
Cool.
Because like, well, it's essentially free money if I can just, I don't need this. It's on top of my other job, my other expenses, and I'm okay putting it into crypto, even if it goes to zero, because whatever, it's
Hmm.
just the secondary money for me. And of course, kind of as you're saying, I got in literally, what was it, 2 months before the crash, I think in May, where it dropped from 60K to eventually 30K, right? So we
Hmm.
saw,
Hmm.
essentially everything just cut in half. And yeah, it's interesting for even just being that my first experience. I feel like that's a good thing in a way
Yeah.
because now moving forward, I'm like, okay, I know this is possible that everything could just
Yeah.
instantly be cut in half again, and that can happen at any moment. So, am I really worried about that? If I'm just holding these things long term, playing Splinterlands,
Hmm.
do I really need to be concerned about that? Because I feel like a lot of people, I don't know if you get this experience, a lot of people, it seems like they're so short sighted in crypto or in this game. I don't know if you get that
Yeah.
feeling as well.
Yeah. I think often the idea gets lodged, or like there's a kernel there where people just start to feel, almost ruminate on that possibility or that concern, like what if I don't find the top, or what if I buy it too early? That's another thing too. It's like two sides of the same coin. um they don't want to buy, for instance, right now SPS, people are concerned about SPS being like is it too high because it's going to be 20 cents tomorrow, or in like in a month when the pre-sale's over? And if it goes to 20 cents and I buy it now, I'll feel so foolish and I could have had more. And that could have had more is like the biggest lie that you are going to just be is going to like ruin your whole life. And I mean that literally because
Yeah.
it's like it affects how you invest, but then it also affects how you live. And if you it's like you have to just when you make a decision in your life and you try to make it as educated as you can and you try to make it like timely as appropriate as possible. And with investing, I think you do a little at a time, dollar cost averaging. And that way you have to, but there's a humility there that you have to say, I'm not smart enough to actually pick the bottom. I'm not smart enough to identify the top. So I'm going to dollar cost in and dollar cost out. And people don't really think of themselves that way often. Like some people feel like, no, I know what's going to happen. It's going to go to 20 cents. So I'll wait till it gets there. And
Yeah.
then sometimes you just, maybe you're right and maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's a way more high risk than just what I do and what I've always done. That's how I think about that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that thought about